Severe avoidants are the masters of self-sabotage. On one hand, they want to be loved. They want connection. They want it just like every human being does. But on the other hand, the very thing they want is what they fear the most. They fear emotional intimacy. It all starts from childhood when they were emotionally neglected by their parents. And this creates a feeling of being unlovable, and they carry this through to adulthood. Also, as a child, their feelings were routinely dismissed, so they learn to suppress their feelings. This creates a fear of emotional intimacy because they learned that anybody that you rely on for your emotional needs is ultimately going to disappoint you, reject you, and abandon you. So when a relationship is going well, when they have a healthy partner that is showing them true love, and the relationship is building and progressing in a nice manner, the avoidant will self-sabotage. And they will do this out of fear. They'll do things like cheat, gaslight, stonewall, pull away, disappear, or even say and do things that aren't very nice towards the partner out of the blue. And this is because they are sabotaging emotional intimacy. They are finding ways to keep themselves at an emotional distance from their partner because things are getting too close, and this is scary. So they self-sabotage to make sure that the emotional connection doesn't get too close. It helps them feel safe. And the avoidant also has a low self-esteem, a lack of self-worth. So they will often do things like cheat to get that dopamine rush, to make themselves feel better about themselves, while at the same time sabotaging the emotional intimacy. And it can happen out of the blue, and it often happens when things are going wonderfully. You just got back from a dream vacation together. You just had a wonderful holiday together. You just introduced to friends and family, and everybody seems to love your new person, and their family loves you, and everything is just going wonderfully. And that is exactly when they start to pull out their self-sabotaging behavior. They begin to cheat out of the blue, or they just disappear for a week. They tell you they were busy, or they just start to get an attitude with you. There's so many different ways that they can self-sabotage, but they're all methods to keep their partner at an emotional arm's length. And when the relationship inevitably fails, because the avoidant doesn't self-reflect, they blame surface level things as the reason why the relationship failed. Oh, I must have felt this way because this just wasn't my person. Or it's their partner's fault that they had to self-sabotage. It just wasn't the right person. If they actually self-reflected, they would have to look within and see where these fears are coming from, and that they are in fact actually self-sabotaging. When the relationship ends, the avoidant feels a sense of relief. But after time has gone by and there's been no contact, they can allow themselves to actually access those feelings again, and that's where the guilt of the self-sabotage can actually come into play. It can overwhelm them and fill them with a sense of shame. That's when they can often desperately try to come back and rekindle the relationship. But if they haven't healed those core attachment wounds, the next go-round is likely to be the same, where they continue to self-sabotage healthy relationships. It creates loneliness for the avoidant. They do feel a deep sense of loneliness. They want connection because human beings are wired to want connection. The problem is, when they get it, it triggers fears, and the self-sabotage cycle begins and repeats until the avoidant actually does the work to heal. Until they actually do the work required to heal those attachment wounds, which usually includes therapy and a commitment to a change in behavior. But understand, if your relationship with the avoidant was going wonderfully and all of a sudden they just self-destructed the relationship, it's not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of them and their unhealed attachment wounds. It's a reflection of them and their character, because these self-sabotage behaviors, they're choices. Cheating is a choice. Gaslighting is a choice. Disappearing for days at a time is a choice. You didn't make them choose that. They chose it because of their own fears and their own character. So don't blame yourself, because if you blame yourself, it makes it harder to heal and move on, and you deserve so much better than someone who treats you like that.